Hi guys, welcome back to Miscellaneous Pleasures. I'm back with season 1, episode 3 of the Queen's Gambit. Before I get into the what happened and what I might expect to see from this episode, I have to get into something else, right? Uh, Basically, in the episode 1's reaction, I happened to mention, and I actually thought that was true till about yesterday night, or should I say about 23, 24 hours ago, till that time. And the thing that I mentioned was that I happen to think that uh, the major chess tournaments, especially those the ones that are happening in the 21st century, I thought that they were gender segregated, and I was actually surprised. It was early on in the reaction actually, the first or the second scene when Elizabeth is the older Elizabeth, or like the one who is in probably her mid 30s or something. That Elizabeth was late for a game, and it was then that I realized that, or I made a comment that basically I was surprised to see mixed with versus female, and I happened to say that it may have been something that happened in the 19th or 20th century, and that I have never seen it in the 21st. And the fact is, I haven't seen it in the 21st. But what's not true is the statement that I made, or the assumption that I had. And somebody in the comment section happened to correct me. And then I said that, you know, that the tournaments are open, I do agree, but in the candidates tournament and the World Chess Championship, they are not mixed. And then he came up with another comment, and then it was at that point that I actually googled this thing, and I read a couple of articles, and basically I had assumed that the tournaments were basically never mixed, simply because all the candidates tournament that I have watched, they always have like 8 players, right? Obviously, and they have a round robin system with 14 games. And obviously, there's the World Chess Championship, which has 12 games now, and I think in the past it was a far bigger number. But the point being that in either of these occasions, and even in tournaments like, I don't want to name specific tournaments now, but the point being, in certain tournaments that I have watched, a lot of them have been male versus male predominantly. And yes, I do know that there are some tournaments which have male versus female, but yeah, so my statement at that point of time was based off of that assumption. But I happened to read up a couple of articles, this being one of them. Actually, what I'll do is I'll enlarge the screen so that it will be readable for the people. So the thing that I happened to mention, like happened to read, this was one of those articles, and this basically says that it started in the 1927 or something like that, and it is open to both men and women, though only men have reached its final stage. And this fact right here is probably the reason why I assumed that. And of course, I was wrong, because this and many other articles proved me wrong. And the thing is, uh, so what I did happen to read up was that the main tournament, or I won't call it the main, but the one that Carlsen basically won against Caruana recently, and a couple of times against Vichy. Those tournaments weren't actually like segregated; they were open tournaments. It just happened to be the case that in these World Chess Championships, uh, it has always been men versus men, or male versus male. So that actually is one thing. Oh, maybe not. This wasn't the article that I read. Uh, I don't know, or probably it was. I'm not exactly sure. The point is, yeah, uh, it was somewhere here that I read in this article. But anyways, the point remains that they are obviously not gender segregated. There are tournaments that are women specific, and then there are tournaments that have both. And for some reason or the other, and we all know few of those reasons, women aren't as much a part of chess in the international level, or even probably in the national level in a lot of countries. like the men are, and it was just one of my assumptions that was completely wrong. So yeah, so that's the thing. So now that that's out of the way, uh, yeah, last episode was absolutely fantastic. Uh, yeah, I mean, based off of just the last episode, I'm guessing that we are going to have another chess like dominated episode, hopefully, because those games were fun to watch. What else? I did have a couple of issues with the show, but I did leave for some creative liberty. One of those issues was that the talking between the games. I'm sorry, but I could be wrong about the gender segregation one. But there is certainly no talk between players during the games. Yes, a lot of players do talk after the games. They analyze positions and stuff, and obviously they have press conferences and stuff where they sometimes analyze the games together, thinking of what were you thinking, what was I thinking, and they analyze the game like 10-15 moves deep, sometimes even more, but never during the game. Like, you're not supposed to say even check, or I don't know if you're supposed to, but nobody does that. Not especially in a sort of like, you wouldn't see that in a Carlson versus Aronian, or Anish Giri versus Vishwanathan Anand, or anything like that. So that was one of my issues. But I don't understand, right? This is at the end of the day a TV show, and like, you can't all be expected to read facial expressions of the players. Like, you can't just have, like, Elizabeth thinking in her mind that what a douchebag the opponent is, or you can't have the opponent thinking of how overconfident he is of the situation or something like that. You have to have some conversation between people. And another thing was obviously the fact that she used the pills. Like, it almost seemed like she was, it was probably an equal game and she was thinking a lot. And then she excused herself, went to the washroom, and then ate that pill, and then came back and was really analytical and, like, basically beat the shit out of the opposite person. If ever that term could be used in a non-violent chess sort of scenario, that was probably the situation. And I had an issue with that, because if you're going to create any character for that matter, not only a female character, but you're going to create any character which is supposed to be brilliant, it's supposed to be like, I mean, I don't understand, like, people like Sherlock, right? I mean, these are people that are predominantly written to be substance abuse, and like, even Sherlock happens to mention that cocaine and stuff like that helps his, like, increase his thought process and stuff like that. But I just had for some reason I had a problem with them doing that. I don't have the problem with the person. I have the problem with the person who created this sort of a scenario. Like, I know that they are going for that addiction angle, especially down the line, especially like 10-15 years down the line, maybe they're going to go down the addiction. She's already addicted, but severe addiction angle. But they could just show the addiction. They don't have to show that pill is making her play better, or at least that's how it came across in the second episode. Maybe that's not the angle that they're going for. So maybe that sort of a confusion will be cleared in this or the next episode. I don't have anything else to say. I think it's about time that I start the reaction. Hopefully I'll be able to react to another TV series today. In the agenda it is Stranger Things, but if I'm not able to react, then I'll probably make a football video or something, or I'll just not make anything. And another thing is that today is a Friday. I will not be making any videos tomorrow, that is Saturday. If I do, it will be about the United versus Everton game. But even that I'm not going to do live. Or when I say live, I'm not going to, like, watch the game as well as make the video at the same time, like I did for the Champions League and the Arsenal game. I'll probably be making a 10 to 15 minute video about the game, like 2 or 3 hours after the game. But yeah, I have an exam on Sunday, and I'm not going to be making any videos tomorrow, but I will be making it on Sunday, obviously. And that's the reason I'm actually hoping to react to 2 things today, so that I can sort of compensate and stuff like that. Anyways, enough of me talking. Let's get into the episode. And this seems to be only 46 minutes. Am I wrong in thinking that the last two episodes were longer? Or at least they felt like an hour or so. Okay, that's a different start to the episode. The mother is obviously play acting that she has drowned. Surely that's the thing, right? And I'm guessing the background clock ticking sounds are the chess clock. I know that she's playing. Surely she's playing. That's what she's doing. Oh, she is. I knew it. For a second, I did not even notice that there was a person standing there in the background.
Comes to the silver
See,
break. That right there. There's a bone in the throat. Guy takes one look at this.
I have seen this guy somewhere.
He pays up $20. The Carol-Con defense, genuine bummer.
What's wrong with Khan?
It's all pawns, no hope. Here, look, I'll show you, alright? This is Carol-Con.
I take the knight.
I've seen this guy somewhere. I've seen this guy. Seriously, I've seen this guy somewhere.
Aren't you that kid from Kentucky who wiped out Harry Beltic?
If you take his knight, then you double his pawns.
Big deal. Like I said, it's all pawns and no hope. Let me show you how you win with black. Watch this. What does white do here?
Queen takes pawn.
Queen takes pawn.
Okay, she's probably starting to realize that
King 8.
there are a lot of good players here.
False.
That's Mrs. Rashevsky. From the 30s.
Very good. Margate, 1935.
White played rook to queen 1.
What else has he got? I gotta go.
The thing is,
You know what?
this is probably a situation where she is
Back when
starting to realize that
or even younger.
there are a lot of good players here, and it's not like
Are you
the last time where she was just overconfident and she just wiped out everybody right there. But here she may not be able to do
Just
that.
come through, see some more friends. Plus, playing too many opens can only hurt. You know what I mean? Good luck.
She has no idea what just happened. I like this guy. This guy probably, I don't know who this guy is.
Beth Harmon, where am I playing?
It's table 15 right over there.
Like, he's obviously a guy whose face I remember or recognize, which means he's like proper series regular or something like that,
Beth
or at
Harmon.
least going to be there for 2 or 3 episodes at the very least, surely.
There aren't any.
That's the problem right there. There definitely is when you're playing against a better opponent. It's difficult to self-analyze your games, like playing you versus you. It's a good exercise to do, but it's difficult.
$12 for our celebration supper tonight and $2 for a small breakfast in the morning. That makes our total expenses so far $172.30.
Which leaves over $300.
I like I don't know if this made the reaction, I'm not sure, but I was kind of, I wouldn't say happy, but I was at least like, sort of, well, I think the term is happy, right? I was sort of happy that at least the mother is at least allowing her to play and she is not like being restrictive of the whole situation. But the more I see this woman like calculate about the money to the like the dollar and 30 cents, she said 170 to 30, right? Like, I don't know, like, is she going to be probably abusive in the future of the fact, if let's say Elizabeth loses out to somebody, right? Because I am guessing that's going to happen sometime down the line. When that does happen, how is this mother going to react to that loss? Because she is doing this for the money, right? Of course, I do understand that she cares about her, but she's not the real mother, so I'm not sure she cares about her that much.
I was thinking, perhaps you could give me 10% as an agent's commission.
There you go.
Let's make it 15%.
I might have to start keeping a scrapbook. How's your meal?
It might be the best Christmas I've ever had.
Lol. I mean, she has had like a lot of bad food, right? In the home. Oh no, is this where she starts drinking? Because she was drunk, right, in the first episode?
It's good. Is that a martini? Gibson.
But Jess can also be
What?
beautiful.
And I'm sure that she and people like us are the only people who think that
Yes, I know that.
the chess is beautiful.
I was just wondering how you learned to play chess.
Mr. Scheibel taught me.
Oh, there.
He was the janitor at Methuen.
A janitor taught you how to play? Really?
I'm not sure how.
I imagine it must have been such a distraction from life in such a depressing place.
I want to elaborate on that. Like, I like that guy, right? Mr. Scheibel. I wonder if her revealing stuff like this without really thinking of the repercussions is going to have an effect down the line. And here I'm not talking about like she should lie or something, but I'm talking about political truthness. I mean, see, you and me may not mind it, but the media plays the things that they want to, and they could just turn the things
You
like,
must have been very
like this, like 8-year-old girl with a janitor, stuff like that. It's just ugly. It could get
You
ugly.
saw the king as a father and the queen as a mother. I mean, one
What?
to attack, one to protect.
What rubbish.
They're just pieces.
A young, unsmiling girl with brown eyes, red hair, and a dark blue dress.
What?
We started the chess club.
Oh my
Into the
god.
male-dominated world of the nation's top chess tournaments.
Oh, I
strolls
like
a teenage
this.
girl with bright, intense eyes from Fairfield High School in Lexington, Kentucky.
I don't know. I for some reason I have a bad feeling about this episode, and it's probably the like, a lot of TV shows go down this path where they make life difficult for the protagonist. I feel like this might be the episode that does that for her, or to her. And she is, well, I forgot her age, but she's like 17 or something, right? And she isn't really like used to partying and stuff, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I hope she has a friend or something
It
in
was
there.
really something to see you in the newspaper all those times. All those places you've been. Which was your favorite?
I liked Houston.
Uh-oh. This is a...
But now that my rating's up to 1800, I hope to go to Las Vegas to play in the US Open next month.
Okay.
What about the boys?
I knew
Are they
this.
good looking? Do you date any of them?
You gotta be
There's
kidding
not
me.
really much time for that.
But if you had the time,
What
is
are
there
you
anyone you've met
doing?
You'd like to trade Rose with, or whatever.
I mean, I trade Brooks all the
Oh
time.
no, this is not what she meant.
I bet you do.
Oh god.
Thank you, Dora. Who wants a cupcake? I love
This
this song.
is... She is so out of place here, or at least she feels that way. She's like, what the hell am I doing here? I have, like, you should leave without saying. Yes, there's no point in this. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, this is where she's interested in the booze. Oh no. I fucking knew there was going to be something wrong in this episode. Okay, so basically, the thing that I wanted to talk about was I'm not sure if I cut that out. I'll definitely cut it out because there's a whole fucking big song in it. Uh, so basically, like she was completely out of place in that party, right? Uh, I had a bad feeling about that place and this whole episode. I am damn sure this is the like beginning of. Actually, the beginning might be the plain one where she had a drink, but this episode, this house, may be the beginning of her booze addiction. Because if she doesn't get the pills, then maybe she's going to find that high, if you may, in something else. So yeah, that was one thing that I did talk about. The second thing I did talk about was, yeah, that I don't like that person, the one who invited Beth to the party. Yeah, that was just like she was so out of place, man. I mean, unbelievably out of place. And we didn't really learn anything about her apart from that booze thing, which I knew was coming. So that sucks. Anyways, back to the episode. Vegas 66. I'm sure the legends were in Vegas in 66 or something, or 68 or something.